Hey to 11 Viscom class, welcome to my house, part of an unfinished part of it. Off to a good start. So we're going to be in person though next week in the Clark building, so super excited for that. I love teaching in person. I think it's more fun, so I'm really excited that we get to be in person again. But this is one of the few times that you will see my full face this semester. You'll get to see that much, and I'll get to see that much of yours. Not super ideal, but better than doing this all semester. So I love doing the in-person stuff. I teach online as well, but I think this is more fun and more engaging. So luckily for 211 is that we get to do normal lectures. So we're in a huge hall, but that allows us to have everybody in class at the same time, so you don't lose out on any lecture time. So it's pretty much business as usual in lectures for up until April when we go remote. So that's great. However, you do have decreased lab time. You'll only be in lab for 1 hour. I'll let you know which hour you're in with a notification that I'll send out there. But yes, only in lab for 1 hour, but it's during the time that you signed up for. So that shouldn't be conflict with anything else there. And that's just below the lecture hall in Clark over there. Yeah, so welcome to the class. So what I'm going to do for the first lecture is I'm going to do a little PowerPoint presentation. And I know the video PowerPoint presentations can be a little long sometimes, so I'm going to try to keep them short because I know it's less engaging than being in person. But it's the best way, I think, to get some necessary information to you guys this week. So make sure you watch this whole video, do the quiz, and I will see you next week. So without further ado, I'm going to get started on that PowerPoint lecture. Welcome! I'm Jessie Grace. I guess I didn't really introduce myself, but I'm your instructor. You probably figured that out already. You'll also have Brendan Kelly, who is the graduate teaching assistant. He'll be your lab instructor, so you'll be doing the hands-on lab stuff with him. So, moving on to a little more about me. This is some of the things that I've done. I'm from South Africa. That's why I talk funny sometimes. I've been here for a minute, so the accent kind of comes and goes. That's where we are. That's the flag. I got my undergrad from Middle Tennessee State. That's where I graduated from. I got my master's from CSU. And I've done videos for the Park Service. I did marketing stuff for USTA. I interned at CNN. I've done a lot of documentary and marketing and PR work for CSU as well. And so most recently working on a documentary. I need to add PBS's little logo into there. Made a documentary that premiered on New Year's Eve, which was super exciting, with some fellow people here at CSU. And the story was on how live music emerged in the pandemic. So I'm looking forward to sharing parts of that with you guys. It was super cool to work on, and currently working on another documentary. So video is my main jam. I do all other Viscom stuff too, photo, design, web. That's all the things we do, but I also teach video editing. So video is definitely my main thing. South Africa, that's what it looks like on the plane before COVID was a thing. And on my way home, golf course in suburbia, people always ask what it looks like. And this is the sunset over Johannesburg. That's where I'm from. This is a buddy's apartment. I love the city. It's such a beautiful view. That's what it looks like. I wish I had more time to do like a round the room introduction, but we don't really in this class. But I'd love to know who you are. Come talk to me. I would love to help you and point you in the right direction in terms of developing your skills more. If you want to, specialize more in one of the skills in this class, I'm happy to either help you with that or point you in the right direction or point you to somebody who can help if I'm not the person to help with that. I'm not really in my office as much because, that whole pandemic thing. But I would love to get to know you more, so pop me an email. We can organize a meeting either in person or over Zoom to either answer questions, or I'd love to just get to know you guys. That's a huge part of why I love this job. So I love teaching. So come get to know me. And we'll get to know each other in class a little bit as well, of course. Viscoms everywhere. You can't make it through like a morning without seeing a bunch of Viscom. I mean, you probably watch videos. You're watching Viscom right now. These PowerPoints are a form of visual communication. I mean, the glass above my computer right now has a design on it. It's communicating visually. It's got some word art and things. So posters, photography, Instagram posts, social media, video, web, it's all a visual display of ideas and info, and that's what we're working on here. We're going to talk about theories, mainly in lecture, and then you're going to turn around and go practice all the things that I talk about. That's the hands-on component, and we're going to go into Photoshop and Premiere. It's okay if you've never used those. We go through tutorials. If you have used those, great, you got a little bit of a head start. The class is required for all JMC majors, so if you're interested in VisCom, this kind of gets your feet wet. Figure out what do you like, what are you interested in, and then you take more classes in that after this class. Or let's say if you're wanting to go into writing, this will then benefit you because chances are you're going to have to do some form of VisCom. Or at the very least, you're going to be working with people who need to visually communicate. So having these skills is going to help you to at the very least to communicate with them and work with them better. I love it when writers have some VisCom experience. When we're doing video, they're doing an article, it helps so much better. If, me having a little bit of writing experience and them having a bit of VisCom experience really, really helps. But chances are you'll need to directly use it in some way. Okay, cool, COVID stuff. I've been singing a lot, I'm not sure why, maybe too many lecture videos. The reporter, it's in the syllabus, so that's the new thing, no longer a daily symptom checker. If you're having symptoms, if you are had a positive test or been exposed, that's where you're reporting it. Check out the syllabus on the homepage for more info on that. Nose is connected to your lungs, so your mask has to cover your cute little nose, so don't want to see that. 6 feet apart. Same seat all semester, so we're going to do a seating chart there, but yeah, that's where the desks are set up to be 6 feet apart, so maintain that distance while you're on campus. No eating, quick drinks only, drink your water, your coffee, just don't eat. Wipe down before you sit, especially in lab, high touch areas, wipe down that keyboard and mouse. There's a wipe as you walk into the room. Attendance is expected / required. You have to be in class. You signed up for something with a face-to-face component. So unless you have a documented reason why you can't be there or you're experiencing symptoms and you've reported that, which will then give you documentation, then you need to be there in person or you're just not going to pass this class. So if there's other reasons as well, please let me know if you're not going to be in class, because we will then work to accommodate you, provided that you have a valid reason for not being there. In order to do that, you need to communicate with me. So if you're having issues, please reach out and let us know that you're not going to be there if you can't. Lectures, what are we doing? So you're going to be with me starting next Monday, 12 to 12:50 a.m. in Clark. It's a 102, big lecture hall, so twice a week with me, twice. And then you're going to do lab for 1 hour. You're going to see Canvas with an announcement that I'll send out later this week on what time. It's not supposed to be 1:30, it's supposed to be 1:50. I always end up with something in my slides to fix. Oops, there we go. Well, imagine that says 1:50 for now. And that's where you're going to get that hands-on experience. We're going to talk about the theory, and then you're going to directly put what I talk about in lecture into practice in lab. So I don't just talk for my health. I talk to give you, some important theories and concepts that you're going to need to implement in the work. Please note that there's a lot of homework. You're going to be doing most of your projects outside of lab, especially now that we have less lab time. It's unfortunate, but it's better than not being in person at all. So you're going to have to do a lot of these projects on your own time, and then come to labs and lectures for help and critique and questions and things like that. Cool, so we're barely going to spend any time on this slide because this is on the syllabus and I give you a heads up as we're going, but here's all the activities, photography, design, video, website. Those are our 4 main topics in this class. You'll have LinkedIn learning, which I'll talk about in a second. So not a final exam. I'm also going to take that off here, but we are going to have pop quizzes. I've taken that out because of COVID stuff for the last year and a half, so lucky you guys. But I will make up those points and test you in other ways and test your knowledge on those quizzes. And again, if you're not showing up to lecture, you're not going to have the content for your assignments, and I include content in lecture that is not on the assignment sheet, so you're not going to do well if you don't show up. I've done a few of these today, so I don't know where these weird voices are coming from, but it's par for the course here. Okay, and then I'll give you some extra credit opportunities as we go. Things that you need to acquire: an external storage device. So hunt down a USB or a hard drive. If you've gotten one, if you're taking video editing with me right now, you'll be given a hard drive as part of that class, so feel free to use that. Otherwise, you need to get an external storage device for lab. A thumb drive should work well. Good couple gigs on there, though. So access to a computer with the Creative Suite. There is a homework lab on campus, so you don't need to purchase it, but most people choose to purchase it for their computers. So Adobe Creative Suite, $20 a month with the year-long subscription, but that's a student price, so you need all of those. That is the best option for this class. Please make sure your computer can handle these, because if you have an old computer that struggles to handle Word, it's not going to handle the Adobe Creative Suite. So make sure you check the minimum specs for the suite and your specs on your computer to see that that will work. If not, totally okay. You can just use those homework labs in the times that they are available on Clark that has all the software that you need. Things that you'll be supplied. There will be LinkedIn Learning tutorials that you will be required to watch. I'll more about that later this week. I'll send out an announcement and an email with an invite to that and your first homework tutorial. They're awesome. I really like them. They are time consuming, but you'll learn a lot about the software. Some readings on Canvas, not really too many there until we go remote. We have camera equipment at the checkout room. If you have your own, you're welcome to use that. And we give you an SD card. So instead of what do you call them? Hard drives, you get those SD cards. Those will be out to you really soon. So you can also use those as external storage devices if you would like. That might be a good way to go too. Okay. You need to use Canvas a lot and get your notifications as push notifications on your phone or a text every time somebody sends out a Canvas notification. And I know your phone's going to be blown up this semester because every instructor is communicating via Canvas through notifications, but at least you know what's going on. So make sure you do that. I send out announcements a lot. Check your school email. My Canvas email goes straight to my regular email, and I check that all the time. So make sure you sign up for that. When we go remote, because we go remote in April, everything will be on Canvas. But if for some weird reason, or COVID reason, we go remote earlier, that's where we live, Canvas. I've taught this class online before, so I'm pretty equipped to do that. So lucky for me and you guys, it's an easy transition when we go remote. Cool, again, my attendance thing, you're literally paying to show up. You not showing up is like paying for concert tickets and then not going to the concert. I don't know why you would do that. That sounds ridiculous. So don't pay for class and not come to it. Even if this is not your thing, this will be helpful moving forward and help you figure out at the very least what you like and don't like. Lab. You have to be there. People try to just submit the lab assignments without being there, and that's not going to fly. So you need to show up to lab to do that. You need to have documentation. If you're going to get an excused absence, whatever that be, the COVID reporter, or whatever your reason is, it needs to be documented. You need to let us know what's going on. Basically, it takes a lot of work to keep students on track, and we have ways for you to stay on track and get the content if you are absent for a bit, but it takes a lot of work and it takes extra time out of our week to get that content to you, which Brenna and I are more than happy to do. We understand times are weird, and even regularly, I'm happy to help accommodate you if there's unforeseen circumstances, but I don't feel like showing up to class is not a good enough reason. Respect my time and I will respect yours. So yeah, we'll work to get you caught up if you have to miss for a documented reason or required reason. So classroom etiquette and lab etiquette: be on time, take good notes, no phones, laptops, use a physical notebook. That is required unless you have special accommodations that you're required to use those devices, which you need to let me know if you do. No laptops. And if you show up and you open your laptop on Monday, I'm going to know you didn't watch this. So please just bring your notebook, physical notebook. It's better retention. It's too big of a class, so I know you're paying attention there. Participate, ask questions, learn stuff. Let's try have a discussion as much as we can. And stay awake. Please, drink some coffee. We'll try to have fun with it. Don't steal things. If you have friends who did this class before, don't take their projects, because we will find out and you're going to be sad. I'm going to have to do a lot of paperwork. You may get kicked out of the university, worst case scenario, so nobody wants to deal with that. 10% reduction every day your project is late, so don't be late, or don't be very late at the very least. No makeup quizzes, so show up. Cool. Accommodations, please let us know if you have accommodations. Happy to fill those, but it's just your job to make sure that you're getting those accommodations. Again, I'm happy to do what I can to help you along the way. I'm just not going to remember. Work with a lot of students, so just remind us, and we're happy to work with you. If you need resources, CSU has tons. The Student Disability Center, case management is a big one, especially with COVID. So really go through them if you have an unforeseen issue. There's veteran services, there's counseling, all the things. And if you're having issues or need resources or have problems, please talk to us, reach out. Overview. Okay, it's intense. This is not an easy class. It's a heavy workload. It's fast paced. If you miss, you are not going to survive, because we just move on so quickly. So how to survive? Show up. Or communicate if you can't show up. So show up, take notes, because you're going to forget. I know you think you're going to keep it all in your brain, but you're going to forget. And at the very least, even if you don't look back at things very much, which you actually will need to do during your assignments, if you're not looking back, the act of writing it down helps with retention as well. Following instructions. That is a huge one. I think the thing that that students lose the most points on is just not reading the instructions and meeting the criteria on assignments. So yeah, and use Canvas. It's another way to be successful. And if you have questions, ask. Obviously read through the stuff on Canvas first. And if there's something you don't understand, here is a resource. So ask questions. Would way rather want you to ask if you don't understand, because we don't want you to just guess and suffer. So that is what we're looking at here. So your homework, read the syllabus, do the syllabus and lecture quiz after watching this. Make sure you have those texts and push notifications set up from Canvas. Figure out if you're going to buy the software. And also, I'm going to send you that email with LinkedIn Learning. So for those tutorials, you're going to get an email later this week saying, hey, inviting you to LinkedIn Learning. If you've had access before, you may not get an email, but I'll send out an announcement when that's done. And there'll be a homework assignment there. And I'll send more information in that announcement as well. So that's what you have to do for your homework. And here, that's what that email is going to look like. Colorado State University is giving you free access to this, so you don't need to pay for that. That is the invite there. So check your spam if you don't get one of those when I send out that announcement. And what would a presentation be without a meme? So that sums up our first lecture. Please reach out if you need any questions. Go ahead, do that quiz, and I can't wait to see you all on Monday at noon. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you soon.